So we've hit this incredible point with AI. These systems are so advanced now that they don't just spit out an answer. No, they think, they plan, they act, they go through a whole process. But, and this is a big but, how do we actually know if they're any good at it?
Right? How are you supposed to grade an AI's homework when the homework itself is this complex, winding journey and not just a final answer? The result is just one tiny piece of the puzzle. And figuring this out, well, it's one of the biggest roadblocks we've got in AI right now. Okay, so before we get to the really cool breakthrough here, we've got to break down the core issue. The old way of grading AI for these new super smart systems, it's just fundamentally broken.
Let me put it this way. The old method, it's like a multiple choice test. The answer's either right or it's wrong. Super fast, yeah, but you have no clue how it got the answer. Did it guess? Was it a lucky shot? Who knows? But the new way, that's like grading an essay. You see the whole thought process, the logic, the reasoning, even the mistakes. It's way, way more insightful. But here's the catch. It is a nightmare to do at scale. So what's the first thing you think of? Just get humans to do it, right? Bring in the experts. Simple. Except it turns out that's not simple at all. It comes with its own whole boatload of problems. I mean, what does this even look like in the real world? It means you have these brilliant human experts just buried, digging through mountains of code, log files, you name it, just trying to piece together what on earth the AI actually did. It is a massive, massive bottleneck. And you want to talk numbers? Get this. For just one single test data set, it took a team of experts a combined 86.5 hours. That's 58 hours just for the first look, and then another 28.5 hours for them to just sit and argue with each other to agree on a final score? I mean, come on, there's just no way that can scale. And here's the kicker. Even after all that time and all that effort, it's still not perfect. The researchers admitted themselves, these tasks are just so darn complex that even the experts slip up. It's so easy to miss one tiny detail, one subtle bug, and throw the whole evaluation off. So what you're left with is a system that's not just slow and crazy expensive, but it's also, well, it's all over the place. The data is pretty clear. Any two experts can disagree anywhere from 10 to 30% of the time. How can you build the future of AI on a foundation that shaky? You really can't. Okay, so we've got a problem. The old automated way is too dumb. The human way is too slow and unreliable. So what do? Well, this is where things get really interesting. This is the big aha moment. What if you use an AI agent to grade another AI agent? They call this agent as a judge. And look, you might be thinking, oh, I've heard of LLM as a judge. But this is a whole different beast. It's a major upgrade. The old way was like the AI just read the book report. This new agent, it's got tools. It can open the hood, check the code, rummage through the files. It inspects the entire process, from start to finish, exactly like a human expert would. Now, of course, if you're going to claim you've built a better judge, you need a really, really hard test to prove it. You can't just use the old, easy stuff. So the researchers had to build something new, a real trial by fire for these advanced AI systems. They called it DevAI. And this isn't your typical AI test. It's a set of 55 tasks pulled from the real world, stuff that actual AI developers have to deal with every single day. We're talking about building, debugging, and deploying real, complex applications. And this thing covers the whole spectrum of AI. Seriously. It's got everything from computer vision to NLP, even reinforcement learning. The idea was to make sure this test was legit, that it could really push any AI agent to its limits, no matter what its specialty is. So what's the secret sauce that makes DevAI so tough? It's not just the tasks themselves. It's that each one is broken down into a whole bunch of smaller steps, 365 requirements in total. It's like a domino chain. The AI has to get each step right, in the right order, to succeed. This whole thing is built to grade the agent's journey, not just its final destination. All right, so the stage is set. We've got this killer new test, and we've got our new AI judge. It is the moment of truth. How did the agent judge actually perform? Let's dive into the results. And boom, here is the first big number. The old method, LLM as a judge, agreed with human experts about 70% of the time, which, is okay. But our new agent as a judge, it's in agreement with the human consensus a whopping 90% of the time. That's not just better, that's a gigantic leap in reliability. But what about speed?
Remember that crazy 86.5 hours it took the humans? The agent judge did the same job and cut the time by, wait for it, 97.72%. What took a team of people days to do, the AI judge does in a blink of an eye. It's just staggering.
And if you're saving that much time, you know you're saving a ton of money. The cost savings were almost identical, over 97% cheaper. So let's just recap. It's way more accurate, it's insanely fast, and it's incredibly cheap. That's the trifecta. Now, I really want this point to land, because it's important. The agent judge isn't just as good as a human. The research shows it's actually more reliable than the average single human judge. Think about that. By automating this, you get rid of all that human subjectivity, all those little errors we saw earlier. You get a more consistent, more reliable result. So look, a faster, cheaper, and more reliable way to grade AI is awesome. That alone is a huge win. But what we're talking about here is so much bigger than just a better report card. This could change the entire game. Here's the real takeaway. For the very first time, we have a way to give these AIs detailed, high-quality feedback on their entire problem-solving process, and we can do it at scale. This isn't about judging them anymore. It's about creating this constant feedback loop so the AI can actually learn, fix its own mistakes, and get better on the fly. And that's the thought I want to leave you with. If an AI can be an expert judge, capable of giving this incredibly detailed feedback, what's stopping it from becoming its own best teacher? We've been so focused on how we can grade AI, but maybe the real breakthrough here is that we've just figured out how they can start teaching themselves.